Alright everybody, welcome back once again to the channel. So in tonight's reaction, we're going to check out a short horror film by Jiya Kapur films. Okay, I'm trying to get all these videos at night so that way they're a lot more effective. So definitely recommend you guys, if you're watching this, to check it out during the nighttime. But of course, you guys don't have to, because I know everybody has different schedules. Whenever you get the chance to view this, you're always welcome to react with me, alright? So, but I'm personally going to start to react to these during the nighttime when it comes to horror. Okay, this one here that we're going to check out is called 3 Sins. And once again, it is by Jiya Kapur films. I'm very excited to jump back into their content. I have not seen them in a while, so I'm very, very excited to come back to their short horror films. And after every film, you guys know I give you guys my thoughts, and you know, you're definitely free to leave your comments down below in the videos. You know, and let me know what you thought about the horror short, okay? So, if you guys want to check this out on your own time, and if you want to check it out separate from here, you guys can click on the link in the description down below and check out the original video without my reaction. But of course, I'm betting you're going to stay here to check out my reaction, and hopefully we can check this out together. So, if you guys are ready, let's jump in here, and of course, let's get scared. The hitchhiker. Well, that definitely stands out in the desert. Or in yeah, it looks like it's like a desert type environment. Oh! Gotta clean that windshield. Got a lot of bug splats on it. Oh, this is interesting already. Oh, that's horrible.
What's wrong with this?
Looks like there was a town behind her. We should just walk back that way. Oh, that sucks. Just gonna wait for somebody to drive by, I guess. Yeah. Very realistic reactions. That's really good. Definitely feels really terrifying, because now look, it's getting dark. It's like no one passing by. Oh, the car? The car's gone! Oh! Oh my god, that's a trip. Oh, and that can drive you mad. Probably feels like she's hallucinating now. Dang. It's almost like a repetitive cycle, right? I'm kind of getting that sort of thing where she saw herself previously. The elevator. Okay, so I'm guessing that was sin number 1, right? What in the world? See, I'm claustrophobic. I cannot deal with elevators, man. I cannot. I gotta go take the stairs. I'm not gonna get into an elevator. I just can't. Oh, she went up higher. Take the stairs, girl. I'm telling you. She's back to 13? Huh. No way. Yeah, time to take some stairs. Don't tell me there's no stairs. Next occupancy. No. What? What? Oh! What was that thing? Oh! That was scary. Got all kinds of identical wizards going. Oh man, I missed the title for this one. I have to go back and look at it in a minute. Was it Mickey Mouse? Is he drunk walking home? Yeah, probably. You like a homeless guy? Okay, that's definitely not making out flat. Ooh. What? I like the flashlight. Do you know the eyes? It's pretty good.
Mickey Mouse.
A day later, same thing. It just kills people, I guess. Alright, you guys, there you have it. Those were the three short, looks like a sort of a three short tales that we saw from Jiya Kapur films, okay? So these were considered like three different sins. So the first one was called The Hitchhiker, okay? We realized that there's just this, there's this girl driving through like some sort of like deserted type of environment, like a deserted road, like a back road or something. And as she's drives in through that road, and as she's driving through that road, she realizes there's a person that needs her help, right? That a hitchhiker in the road that's, needing a ride. And so the first thing I would have done is just, you keep going. You never know who you're picking up, right? Obviously, all of us have probably experienced that. I've experienced that many times. You never know who that person is walking. It could be a good person. It could be a bad person. But unfortunately, we're not mind readers, so we can't tell. And you're taking a huge risk by picking up this person, and giving them a lift. You never know what they're going to try to do to you. Unless you're like heavily armed and prepared, then you're probably going to take that risk. But if you're not, I would keep driving, So this young woman that's driving the car, she decides to pull over and give this person a ride. I think it looked like a woman right in the road that needed a ride. And so when she stops, and she pulls over to the side, she looks out the, behind her out the door, as she rolls down the window, and the person's gone, right? So that totally throws her off, but she doesn't pay too much attention to it, and eventually she just rolls up the window and keeps driving, or wants to continue to drive. Actually, yeah, she continues to drive, but her car immediately stops working, and so this is where it gets bad. So now her car doesn't turn on. There's obviously like no cars going through that road, so now her desperation, like her anxiety, all this stuff is like her panic is starting to increase because she's just there in the middle of the road, and clearly she doesn't know what's wrong with her car. At some point we see her hood open, like she kind of opened it and tried to see what happened, but it just kind of cuts to like that hood already being opened, and then she just kind of goes up to it and closes it, and she pulls out a bottle of water. So at that point, that when she closes the hood, the bottle of water is just on the road, and there's just, she's sitting like somewhere on the side of the road. At that point, it's just like you have nothing to do. You don't know what to do, so you're just going to sit tight and wait for something to happen, right? So the thing that was awesome here in this short, in this first part, the hitchhiker, is that like the camera, it stayed really close to the woman, so that way we don't have visual of the car in the distance behind her. It looks like all we see is the water, but as the camera pans towards the car, she turns around to look back behind her, and the camera is panning, and the car is actually gone now. And so she gets up and she's freaking out, like, what the heck happened to the car? That is terrifying. That is downright terrifying. This is a really great story. So this definitely had me like interested. So as she notices that the car is gone, she's looking around, everywhere. And then finally at some point she sees the car passing by, like, looks like a road crossing the opposite way, right? And so she has this sort of what the heck, what's my car doing over there? But at the same time, she, you can see that her face changes to relief, right? She's relieved that she sees this car driving by, and she runs to it, but then the car speeds up, right? And it's totally the opposite of what she did, which was ignore the person that was hitchhiking, right? Which is totally the opposite of what she did, right? Which she stopped to pick up this person, but this other hitchhiker, which there was a hitchhiker before, is now going past her driving the car. So this was genius. Like, this could have been really like a real person. Like, to me, it looked like this was a real woman that just, you know, played a trick on her and then just made her stop and totally disappeared on her. So I don't know though what happened to the car. How did that stop working immediately? Like, I don't know what happened there. Was it some kind of you know, some sort of bad spiritual energy that affected the car? But then obviously in the end we see this physical person that was hitchhiking before driving the car away. So, you know, I wonder what could have caused that car to break down. So that was a very interesting, very, very good one. Now the second one, which is called the elevator, right? This one is, I mean, I am terrified of elevators. I mean, I've gone in them and everything, despite my fears, but I try to avoid them as much as I can. You know, I try to always take the stairs, and that's the end of the story, right? Plus, I'm very active, so I love to take stairs as much as I can move my legs and all that. I love that. I don't mind the workout, you know. Even if I'm carrying something heavy, I'd rather take the stairs. But yeah, I've taken the elevators before, and I just get this feeling that it's going to shut down, it's going to stop, and I'm just now stuck in between these four walls. And I can get like a very bad, I'm not asthmatic at all. I've never had asthma, but I feel like I can get this sort of feeling, right? Almost like asthma, where it's very hard to breathe, and it's really scary. So I cannot imagine if that happens to me in an elevator, I would probably really freak out to the point where I can't breathe, you know? So, yeah. But anyway, it's just like, you know, this young woman, she gets into the elevator going from the 7th floor of the building down to the first one. And so as she's going into this elevator trying to reach the first floor, it takes her up to the 13th floor. You know, we get the elevator coming up to the 13th floor, and she totally is thrown off, and she's like, what the heck? So she presses that button again. And so as you know, this progresses, it just turns into like an endless loop, right? This elevator just keeps going back up to the 13th floor, no matter what numbers she presses. So eventually, she starts to freak out. She steps out of the elevator at some point, which is good. I was like, okay, at that point, I would take the stairs. Like, don't even go into the elevator anymore. But there is no stairs, which is downright chill. It's just like downright chilling. It's downright terrifying, you know? So I was just like, okay, now what do we do, you know? So do we just wait there, or is she just going to go back into the elevator? She decides to go back into the elevator, and as she's going down, this process just keeps repeating. So now the numbers are speeding up. There's starting to be even a glitch inside the elevator to where it starts to distort her and the environment around her. And clearly there's something, you know, very demonic in that elevator, or something that's just taking over that, that's controlling the elevator. And now she's just ends up sort of being possessed by something, or just, you know, something attacks her in there. Just when we get this glitch, she ends up like kind of, you know, passing away, I guess. And so she drops down to the ground, and that's the end of it, right? So it looks like something was just like taking over that elevator and just didn't want her to escape or anything like that. So at the end, it just, I guess it just kind of took her life. And in the end, we see, like, when the elevator opens up, this really disturbing, really tall, you know, slender figure, looked like a woman too, comes out of the elevator and starts to approach, like, you know, gets closer and closer to the screen. And I was just like, I freaked out in that part. That one really got me. I did not expect anything like that to happen, because honestly, I thought these were going to be more real life situations. But this thing, we literally saw this very disturbing, you know, thing, and we really don't see that in real life. So, excuse me, sorry about that. We don't see that in real life. So that totally freaked me out. I mean, that got me good. Now, in the third one, it's called Mickey Mouse, right? You know, it looks like it's a homeless man walking the street. It looks like he's drunk as well. And he sees this Mickey Mouse doll, right? Picks it up, and he takes it with him to his little campfire, right? And so as he's, you know, starting to fall asleep, well, even before that, he kind of hears these like giggling sounds. It sounds like a female giggling, right, in the distance. But he can't tell what it is or where it's even coming from, so he just ignores it. But as when he gets to the camp and he's falling asleep, he continues to hear these sounds. And so it just kind of keeps repeating and repeating. And so eventually this Mickey Mouse little doll, right, it starts to change, you know, positions. It's now located somewhere else. And at the end, it appears to be in a chair now. And from there, it starts to sort of talk to him. And you can see this, like, you know, morphing in its face as it's starting to talk to the guy. And it's, you know, sort of just attacks him, right? And eventually kills the guy, right? So I thought that was, it wasn't too bad, but I think that was, very scary stuff. Yeah, this doll was clearly possessed, and he should have just left it there in the beginning. I mean, we've had this story before with Jiya Kapur films, but it was with a Barbie, right? Where we pick up, 2 different ones that I saw too. Actually 3, right? So they get this toy that they pick up, and then turns out this toy is possessed, and it starts taking over them, and eventually it ends their life, tragically. So, this is where, now we focus on this little Mickey Mouse doll, where it pretty much was the same sequence of events, and it was the same, kind of ending, right? So, yeah, and then finally, after this, this first victim, right, completely just after this man becomes a victim now, we finally get the next story where the Mickey Mouse doll is in the same exact position again. And so now we got the next person coming in, which will eventually be the next victim. And so she picks up the doll, right? This is a woman now. She picks up the doll, and here's the same giggles behind her. But now the difference is that there's something very ugly and demonic as well, very, very disturbing figure behind her, and it's laughing, and it's kind of approaching her too. And of course, she makes the right decision here. Thank God. I was so happy that she decided to drop the doll into the ground and run away. So, yeah, I mean, the first instinct after picking up that doll, and you hear this thing behind you, is to be like, okay, this happened right after I picked up the doll. I'm going to drop it into the ground and I'm going to bounce. That's the first thing you should do. So I'm very happy that this woman ran away. And that was sort of a happy ending right there for me, because she survived, as opposed to the man that actually kept the doll, even after he was hearing these constant giggles in the distance. So yeah, and then, we of course get the same sort of type of figure again, this really tall, slender figure, in the distance, approaching this young woman. And very, very, very creepy looking, So I think they did a really good job with the whole design of that. And I love it how they sort of work with the camera, like it's panning closer and closer as this thing starts to kind of speak and move its mouth and I know it's done with like digital effects, but I like how the face starts to kind of move and distort in very unnatural ways. So, you see the Mickey Mouse face distorting, and then you see these 2 eyes. Also, as the camera pans to the side, you see these 2 creepy eyes that are on the floor right next to it on the ground. And that was something very, very weird. I did not understand that, but that was still very scary. So, I mean, at the end of the day, at the end of the night here, I enjoyed these 3 films. Let me know what you guys thought. Which one actually stood out to you? The one that stood out to me the most out of these 3 would probably be, would probably be the Hitchhiker. It would be the Hitchhiker, honestly. Yeah, that one was definitely very scary. I mean, especially if you're out in the middle of nowhere, there's no reception, your car doesn't work, and it's just getting dark. And I mean, I've been in that situation before where I'm not in the middle of nowhere, right? I'm in just like a back road, and there's a lot of cars passing by, but I've had that happen to me where my car ran out of gas. I was going a long drive without pumping any gas on it, and that was totally my fault. I was like passing all these gas stations. I was like, I'll make it. But nope, it totally like turned off on me at some point, and I stayed there waiting for a tow truck to come and pick me up or whatever and help me out. But that tow truck was taking hours, and I was just there sitting there and just seeing the day turn into night. And so I started to get a little bit of anxiety. I was starting to get like some sort of like desperation, just like I need to get out of here. I don't want to be here anymore, right? So I totally know how that feels. Eventually somebody came and picked me up. My lovely fiance, I had to call her, and she eventually came and pick me up. So, that was really nice of her. And I was very thankful at the end of the day. So, her and her brother actually came to pick me up. Her brother had a little gallon of gas, and I just, poured some gas into my car, and we were good to go, right? And I just, I treated them to some Taco Bell after. It was really good. So that was a really terrible experience, though, when I was just there sitting there waiting for the tow truck, which never came, and I had to just cancel that. So I did cancel that. I didn't just leave, right? So I canceled that because it was taking forever. But yeah, that was a heck of an experience for me. I never went through that again. Always make sure your car is filled with gas. Don't wait till last minute. Pump it up with gas. You don't want it to leave you in the middle of nowhere. So, yeah, you guys, which one did you enjoy the most? Which one was relatable to you? Let me know. Drop it down in the comments. And thank you guys for watching all 3 of these, the 3 sins with me, okay? Thank you so much. Have a good night. And God bless. Peace.